has caused the stock market to reach its all-time low and has caused severe cash.
कोरोना से बचने का इसके अलावा
During a pandemic of such a proportion, it's important to keep our life safe. Equally important to keep our financial situations also safe. This COVID-19 has caused a great collapse on the economy of India and also paralyzed our life in various ways. I am A.Lobamudra. In this video, let's talk about the prevailing confusion regarding the payment of rent during the lockdown period and the position of law in this regard. This is Law Explained. There are a total of 27.37 million rented households in India, of which 79.4% or 21.72 million are urban rented households. More than 50% of people in India, including students and employees, do not live in their houses and live outside for various reasons like education and employment. And many of the employees are not getting their full salaries. About 40% of their monthly budget is set aside for monthly rent. As tenants, we may think, am I supposed to pay rent to my landlord at this period? As landlords, we may get a doubt. Is it justified or legally right on my part to ask rent from my tenant? Before answering these questions, let me tell you what the central government says in this regard. Wherever the workers, including the migrants, are living in rented accommodation, the landlords of those properties shall not demand payment of rent for a period of 1 month. If any landlord is forcing laborers and students to vacate their premises, they will be liable for action under the Act. But this order raises certain other doubts also. Number one, is this order is completely waiving the rent for the lockdown period or just postponing the payment of rent? Number two, is this law order applies to the subsequent lockdown period also? But one thing is clear, the students and laborers cannot be evicted for non-payment of rent during the lockdown period as per this order. After the order of the central government, various state governments ever since February end and March 2020 beginning have been issuing advisories, guidelines and orders under the provisions of the Epidemic Diseases Act 1997, under the provisions of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 and the National Disaster Management Act 2005 not to collect rent from their tenants during lockdown period. Tamil Nadu had asked the landlords not to collect rent from the migrant workers and students for 1 month. Maharashtra government had asked the landlords not to collect rent from the migrant workers and students for 3 months. The central government and the state government so far have not enacted any special law prohibiting the landlord from collecting rent from the tenants. Hence, in this crisis, the landlords and the tenants are continued to be governed by the respective rent control acts and rules. The Supreme Court refused to entertain a plea seeking direction to the centre to ensure compliance with the MHA order directing landlords to neither ask students and labourers to vacate the premises nor to seek rent for a month during the COVID-19 lockdown. The solution to the present problem seems to lie in the parties themselves. The need of the hour is to be realistic and to look into the present and emerging future scenario practically. We are looking forward to answer your queries and doubts regarding the law. Let's know in the comments. If this was useful to you, please share and subscribe to our channel for more content from Law Explained.